More than a year into the pandemic, many educators are burning out and leaving the profession. But Elizabeth Ruiz found a teacher who says he's never been more inspired to help students.
These are the views from outside J.J. Hill Montessori School in St. Paul, Minnesota. Because of the pandemic, no visitors are allowed inside the building. That's why 1st through 3rd grade teacher John Horton met me outside.
Last spring in Minnesota, it was a really tough, challenging period for kids because of the things that were taking place with school and without in their own community. So as a teacher, people think it's to give kids academics and to teach lessons, but honestly, it's about building relationships and supporting them.
This video inside the classroom was given to us by John Horton and St. Paul Public Schools. John says his support for students is why a family nominated him for Minnesota Teacher of the Year.
They felt I saw their child for the first time for who he is.
He says it's important to recognize all teachers.
If there was ever a year to do more than just send love letters to teachers, it's this year.
Randy Weingarten is the president of American Federation of Teachers, a teachers union with 1.7 million members. She says there's no question students have fallen behind with so many disruptions during the school year.
Of course, for some kids, they're not going to be at the same exact place as they would have been if we didn't have COVID. And so next year is going to be a year of academic recovery, of emotional recovery, of social recovery. The social isolation is probably as devastating as anything else.
John says many teachers have felt defeated this past year, as if they could never do enough to help their students.
I think a lot of families understand teachers were working long hours. My colleagues here at J.J. Hill were starting their work around 6 and working till about 8 p.m. most days. Often they would put in a half a day or a full day on the weekend. A lot of colleagues had to push things off, like family responsibilities, just to make sure that they're taking care of the kids in their class.
As more students return to the classroom, John says he'll be focusing less on measuring the academic success of students.
I told the children we're going to work on community, we're going to work on friendship, and we're going to work on taking care of ourselves for the first couple weeks of school, and we'll see how it goes.
Both John and Randy say what's most important is that kids feel safe when they return back to school.
I really think we need to work on supporting children in their mental health. This has been a really traumatic few years for children and families. I think we need to find ways to support kids, and that might be reinventing school. We could introduce more community schools. We could find ways to have teachers connect with families. We also need to think about making sure that every family is radically welcomed in school.
In St. Paul, Minnesota, I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
More people are looking to move as working remotely becomes more common, but we'll talk about how the internet is threatening to derail some of those plans next on The Race.